Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous hair bow, and believe it or not, this is very simple and quick to make. So to make this hair bow, I've got a couple of fabric clips, a couple of pins, a needle, and this is threaded with some strong thread and I've popped a knot in the end. I've got my Fiskars fabric scissors, a tape measure, and of course my ribbon. I've also got a rhinestone diamante trim. I'm going to cut this off to add to the centre of the bow. I've got my hair clip and a hot glue gun. Everything that I use in this video will all be linked in the description below, so you can check out all of these products. You will need 6 pieces of ribbon for your hair bow, plus I've got 2 in a 1 centimetre wide ribbon, and these 2 pieces are cut to 11 centimetres in length, or just under 4.5 inches in length, and one of these pieces is to wrap my hair clip, which is optional, and the other piece is to wrap around the centre of my bow. These 6 pieces are all the same size, and they are 1.5 inch wide ribbon or 4 centimetres wide, and these are cut to 10 centimetres in length or 4 inches in length, and that is 6 pieces. That is 3 for each half of the bow. To start off with, you will need to heat seal the ends of your ribbon, and this will just get rid of any frays and prevent any further fraying. And you want to do that on all of your ribbon, on the raw edges. So now we've heat sealed all of our ends, I'm going to pop 3 pieces aside, and we're going to work on the first half of our bow. Taking one of the pieces, you want to fold it in half, and then where the raw ends meet, you want to find the centre again, just to mark a crease in there so I can see where the centre is. And then grabbing one of my pins, I'm going to pop that pin directly in that centre, and that will hold them together and also keep that centre mark showing. Next, taking the other 2 pieces, first of all I'm going to work on the piece that is going to go on the right hand side. So following the natural curve, which in my ribbon is this way, so I'm going to face that curve towards me. I'm going to fold this corner out diagonally and then bring it down, so you've got like this point at the top, and then you can just use your fingers to make that look straight and even. And then you're going to slot this piece inside, lining it up in the centre and across the bottom, and this edge in the centre. Grabbing a fabric clip, pop that on there to hold that in place, and then taking the other piece, and this is to go on the left hand side. So again, just following the natural curve, facing towards me. This time I'm going to fold it out diagonal to the left and then fold it down towards me, again to make this point at the top. And I'm just using my fingers just to make that point nice and even. And again, where this opening is, we're going to slide it in between, lining it up in the centre. You want them both to touch in the middle and all along the raw edge at the bottom. You want them all in line. And now I'm going to remove this pin, making sure it's in the middle. I'm just going to remove this pin now and pop my fabric clip on there to hold those pieces in place. So this is what it looks like. And now I'm going to grab some pins. Keeping this pinched together, I'm going to take this corner, the outer corner, just the top layer, and I'm going to fold it in towards the centre. And then using this pin, I'm just going to pop it in there to hold that in place, like that. And then we're going to do the same with this side. So I'm just moving the clip over for now. So taking this outer corner, just the top layer, not the bottom, I'm going to fold it in again to meet that centre, and then taking my second pin, I'm just going to pop that in there to hold it all in place. And I can just remove this clip, and this is what you end up with, this beautiful shape that you can see forming now. So that is one half of the bow now complete. We're going to now repeat those exact same steps on the second piece of ribbon. Now, because I've already shown you how I did this half, I'm not going to repeat myself and show you on this half. So if you need to go back, if you're working along with the tutorial, just rewind the video around sort of a couple of minutes, and then you can re-watch how I did the first half. So here we have our two halves now made and identical. So now we're ready to sew in our pinch. So we're going to aim for 10 stitches across this raw edge. So we're going to go in through the first corner for our first stitch, through the top, all the way through to the knot. And then the second stitch around halfway between where this piece starts and the edge. Our third stitch is going to come through catching these corners, making sure you catch all of those layers. That is our third stitch. Our fourth one is going to come up in the middle of this piece here, so around just beside this pin, again making sure you catch all of the layers. That's our fourth stitch. Our fifth stitch on this corner here, catching all of those layers. So we've got our first 5, and now we're going to do the same 5 stitches across this side, mirroring this half. So 6 stitch coming up back through these first corners, 7 stitch in the middle of this piece here, so directly in the middle, 7, our 8th stitch catching this corner, making sure you've got all of those layers, and then our 7th stitch in the middle of this last piece here, sorry, that was our 9th stitch, and then our 10th stitch coming back up from the bottom to the top. So we've got 5 and 5 like that, and this is what it looks like on the underside. So now I can remove these pins, and I'm going to keep this together whilst I sew the other half. So again, sewing from right to left, and then that will bring these two together. So exactly the same 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to pull it completely tight because we are joined. So just enough to get it through. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Removing those 2 pins. So as you can see, we go all the way across the 2 pieces now. So I'm going to pull this tight to form the pinch on both halves. And then once you've got that nice and tight, I'm going to flip it over to the underside and bring these 2 edges together. So keeping that nice and tight. I'm just going to go in through this last edge just to seal that off so we don't lose the pinch. I'm going to go through both halves, so going in through the other side, just catching those corners, and then back through this side, through the corners. And then I'm going to do the same with these middle pieces, so going in through this side and back up through the other, just to close in that middle. And the same with this piece here, so in through this side, out through that side, closing up that middle. And then on this last one, I'm going to go through, and before I pull it completely tight, I'm going to go through this loose loop, and that will just form a knot to hold that all in place, so I can trim off the excess thread. And that is the gorgeous bow shape, as you can see, has now taken place. It's such a gorgeous shape. Now for this you can make a base bow if you like, but I like it just as it is because I already think it has a layered kind of look. You could even use some glitter tails under there if you want, but I just love this as it is. So I'm going to grab my clip now. I'm going to be using a double pronged 45mm clip. These are what I always use in my tutorials because they're the clips that my daughter likes to use. And I'm going to line my clip with some matching ribbon. Again, this is optional. Oh god, my hot glue came out quick then. That is optional, that is just something that I like to do because I think it just gives a nice finish. And then I'm going to stick this on the underside of my hair bow. So I just pop the glue on the front half of the clip, not the part that you pinch, and place that along the underside of my bow. And then with this piece, I'm going to stick a rhinestone trim on there. Now I like to do this 3 rows wide by 8. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is a self-adhesive rhinestone trim. You can get some that are iron-on, or you can get these self-adhesive ones. I will link this one in the description below if I can still find it online. And these just finish off the bow beautifully. And I don't totally rely on this sticky back, although it is quite sticky. I have used this around photo frames and ornaments in my living room. But yeah, it sticks well on there. But for a hair bow, I like to use a little bit of Gorilla Super Glue gel just on the ends to make sure that it is definitely stuck down tight. So I'm sticking this on my piece of ribbon, and then I'm just going to use some of this Gorilla Glue gel just on the ends. It does stick fairly well, as you can see. I struggle to get that up. But yeah, I just like to add a little bit of this just on the end to make sure. I'm going to do the same with the other end. I'm just giving it a little bit of a bend now because obviously it's going to curl around the middle. I'm going to stick this now on the middle of my hair bow. So I like to start on the top first. So line it up in the middle. And then bring it round. And then I'm just going to trim off the tail ends. You want to leave just enough to stick over the underside of the clip. Again, always heat seal the raw edges, being careful not to burn your hair bow. And then you can stick those last tail ends down underneath the clip. Sorry if I keep going off camera. And there you go. Isn't that gorgeous? I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. If you did, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you press the bell button, that will turn on notifications. If you've got any questions, feel free to pop them in the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.